to Vin and Mike, episode 51, NFL Pick Week 10. Mikey Mike, what is up?
Happy Friday, Vin. Happy NFL Picks Day. How you doing?
I'm doing great, my man. You know,
always fun to do this.
I love doing our pick show. Simple, quick kind of show.
Simple yet effective.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad.
I think like anybody.
I haven't really kept track of our records or anything. Maybe one of our listeners has and is just making fun of us, you know.
No, I think, listen, I look back at it. I know we had a couple off weeks that we could laugh about, but we also had some really good picks that were up there, and I think we're right there. I think any better.
All right. I trust in you that you're telling me we're doing the right thing.
Yes, sir.
So, I got to do some of our sponsorships. I always forget this stuff.
Let's do it.
All right. Vin and Mike is brought to you by Viggy Bets. Go to Twitter, Instagram right now at Viggy Bets. Let him know you're a fan of Vin and Mike, and he will hook you up with one of his VIP memberships. Right now, I think he's doing monthly for $7.99. So check him out. Handicapping. He does a lot of hockey, college football, all the fun stuff that's going on right now. So check him out at Viggy Bets. We're brought to you by the Pigskin Podcast Network. We're on KKFI out there in Kansas City. And, of course, you can get everything at vinandmikepodcast.com. So it is our week 10. Wow, can you believe week 10 already?
No, I can't.
Are you excited in a way that you get to relax Sunday and without the Jets, no stress? You're sitting there 6-3. Josh Allen's elbow's about to fall off. You know, before we get into our picks, just want to feel how you're feeling a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in between. I'm happy I get to take a little break and breathe, but I always look forward to the Jets playing. And as we talked about last show, that this New England game is so crucial. So I'm glad they have a week to really think about it, going with a game plan since you lost to them a few weeks ago, because that's really going to set the precedent, I truly believe, of those games after that with teams that could be beaten like the Lions and Bears, as we discussed. So, but this game has to be won in New England. So we'll take a little breather. We'll watch some of these other teams that we're going to talk about and get down to business the following week.
All right. Sounds good. I'll let you start off with your big first pick because I already know what it is and I didn't put it on my list because I just didn't want to copy you on this one, right, even though I totally agree where you're going to go with this because it's the only pick we've discussed all week. So I'll let you have it and go ahead.
Yeah. So I looked at this line. I spoke to Vinny about it and I just kept shaking my head. It's the Giants-Houston game. And Houston comes in with a subpar record. Their rush defense is one of the worst in the leagues. Worse in the league. And you're going against a Giants team that lost in Seattle. Pretty, not the best performance. They had a bye week. They're coming out of that. They're going home. They've been well coached. They're getting some people back on defense. So they're pretty healthy. Daniel Jones is really coming to his own. And the line at one time was 6.5, which I would have bet anyway. Now it's down to 4.5. I know some people have said to me, oh, it's a trap. And I went back and forth with that thinking, is it? And then I spoke to our good friend, Mr. Mazpule, who really gave me insight to say the Giants have not received the credit that's due. Their record doesn't reflect the kind of praise that they deserve. They have not been a great first half team. And that's why they haven't really been blowing teams out per se. But I think that changes this week. I think they come in, they take care of business. I think the 4.5 is a steal. I have to stick with my guns on this one. And I have to stick with Saquon that I think he's going to run the ball just up. I think he's not going to be stopped. This is a game that the Giants should win easily. And that's my first pick.
Yeah. I really look at this game as a 7, right? I mean, that's really what I look at this game at. And, I think about Houston and their offense, which is not the best, and I think the Giants' defense is solid. They've played well all year. I know McKinley is out with the broken wrist, but not to me that's not a big deal. I'm reading that Pierce, who's their best player on offense, is limited practice right now for Houston.
Right.
So it makes you think, all right, Rex Burkhead is going to be the lead back potentially, but I would think Pierce played. But even with him playing and all that stuff, you said it right. Barkley is the guy, and they're coming off a bye week. They're home. Houston's coming off a terrible game, against the Chiefs and all that stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I just can't see them, being in this game any less than 7. So I think plus 4.5. I have to totally agree with you. I've agreed with you all week on this, and I'm kind of shocked. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It would shock me if this is a game we don't hit. I'll be honest. This to me is like one of those games when you really look at it, and maybe someone out there can message us as we're recording here on this Friday, and it'll be posted up later.
I'll post it up on Instagram, our picks.
Yeah, but the YouTube will be up there, and I know we get a lot of comments on our YouTube page. And we have a lot of good YouTube listeners. I know we got a lot of people on Spotify and all the other services that listen as well. So be interested in seeing what they think, and if we're maybe there's something we're missing in this whole thing. But I agree with you. All right. Let me give you my first pick. And I like the Seahawks on a neutral field, plus 2.5. And I actually even like the money line plus 120. I just think Seattle's the better team. I think Geno Smith has really discovered himself in Seattle. His completion percentage is over 70%. His play action pass has been amazing. Kenneth Walker has really come into his own there as the rookie running back. They still got Lockett and Metcalf. But most of all, Pete Carroll has been phenomenal. And Tampa really, everyone's like, oh, they got it going. I'll be honest, the Rams just basically played terrible defense on that last drive. Besides that last drive, Tampa did nothing. They haven't done anything for weeks. I don't see where everyone is all of a sudden thinking Tampa's going to, take it up another notch. I just think they're still, not great. That NFC South is horrific. I watched that game last night. Oh my gosh,
awful.
Awful. Yeah, and we talked about that yesterday. That we didn't want to touch that game. We knew people that were going with Atlanta.
I was actually talking to Dan Hernandez about it, and I said I like the Falcons. I did. If I thought anyone was going to win, I thought the Falcons were. They were horrific. They really were.
I don't know. I just did not like that game. The rain. I never liked dome teams on the road in bad weather. I would have, even though it was Carolina, but I'll tell you, Carolina's played well since they fired Matt Rule. They've actually played pretty well. And PJ Walker is just doing enough. But the scary thing is they're running the ball better now. Without McCaffrey. Foreman's been great, Chuba Hubbard's been really good. It's kind of interesting there. But again, to regress, I like the Seahawks, plus 2.5, money line plus 120. Again, I just don't see, Tampa really took that step yet. I need to see them, let's see them come out in Germany and beat Seattle by 20 before we can re-anoint anything that they're doing, because right now they haven't impressed me a single bit. Not a single bit.
Yeah, no, listen, I appreciate your commentary, because there are going to be the skeptics that said, Brady's last drive, they have the momentum, but you're right, the Rams played so poorly that, Seattle and a Geno Smith team, they've been playing really well consistently. I understand that bet.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll. That's the one.
I love his enthusiasm. Yeah, he's been great.
Man, I tell you, he's one hell of a coach. He
sure is.
Really is.
He should. I think definitely a nominee for Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt, easy.
Yeah.
My next bet, I think Anthony's going to be really happy with this. So Anthony, when you listen to this, you'll have a smile on your face. Bears minus 2.5. I think Justin Field is really coming into his own. The last 3 games, the Bears put on a lot of points on the board, 32, 29, and 33 respectively. They're playing a Lions team that has a terrible defense. They'll be at home, and I think that the Bears have been better than I thought. I know they've had their struggles. I love this game. This is probably my best pick of the week. I think that this is a game that they should win against an atrocious Lions defense, and Justin Fields coming to his own, really having the chemistry on the field. -2.5. I mean, I think they'll win. I mean, they should win by 3. I think they're going to win by like a touchdown at least. So
this is a game I have on my list, but in a different way. I have the over.
Okay.
I don't have the Lions. So and I go with a lot of your key points there with the way Fields is playing, what the numbers they put up, offensively. I know the Lions have not shown great road play at all. They've been really bad on the road. But what I do like about the over is I think the Bears traded a lot of their good defensive players, before the trade deadline, Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. So I think their defense isn't as good. I like the way Fields has been playing. He's really coming into his own. I think you make a good point there. But I like Goff being with St. Brown and Swift being back and the health there with those guys. So I think a lot of scoring here. Like you said, I could see this being 35-31 Bears, something like that. I think over 48.5 for me was what I really liked about this game. Before we go into our last pick, let's just do our quick commercial break here, and then we'll talk about our last pick and close it up. So, Mike, I'm going to give you another scenario.
I love your scenarios.
Let me make this one up right off the top of my head like I do. You have in your hand Tic Tacs, You have the green and the blue, right? Are those even Tic Tac colors? I don't know.
I know green is, yes.
Green and the blue. And you come up to the line of scrimmage with your Tic Tacs, and you're saying to yourself, do I go green 32 or blue 26? I think that is that Robinson, and I don't even know their numbers, whatever. So Michael Carter or James Robinson, who do I hand the ball off to? Which one? The green Tic Tac or the blue Tic Tac? And the time is ticking, tick tack, tick tack. You think about it. You come up to the line and you go hut, and what happens? Touchdown! You're Tic Tac.
I gotta leave the room. I can't take it. I gotta leave.
But make every play feel this exciting with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and their unbeatable offers. Right now, new customers can make any $5 NFL bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. I don't know if you heard that promotion before. It might be new. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. I know, Mike, here we are right now. We gave you a bunch of different things to parlay together. Right now you got Giants, Seahawks, Bears. That's a nice little parlay if you want to go that way right there. I think that's good. To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game all season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Just place a $5 bet on any football game only at DraftKings Sportsbook using code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. So just to let everyone know, me and Mike were talking about doing an ad for Tic Tac, and that's why I just threw that in there as part of our promotion with DraftKings. As just a little fun, Don't take me too seriously. Hopefully not. Maybe our sponsors wouldn't be too happy with the
sponsors love you. No one does promos better than you.
That's right.
Use Tic Tac in a promo. Come on,
Tic Tac.
Tic Tac.
Maybe they'll be happy. Maybe they'll call us up now. I don't know. All right. How many more you got? You got one or you got one? I got one. You got one. Go ahead.
All right. Dolphins, Browns.
I looked at that.
Dolphins -3.5. I like the Dolphins here.
They're home, right?
They're at home. Now Cleveland is coming off of the bye. Their pass rush is pretty good, but Miami's offense has been really good.
Yeah.
And I think that Cleveland has not played well on the road. Miami's really in that AFC East race. They're right there. Very well coached. Plays, and actually they're 4-1 against in the spread in games that Tua started and finished. That's a really good stat.
Okay.
So I go by that. I think Cleveland will give them some difficulty, but at the end of the day, I think that's a point spread that they could cover. And I like the Dolphins, maybe 30-24, something in that vicinity. So yes,
Miami's been an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think their offense is just going to take over.
Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Tua, and the Gesicki, right? That's the tight end. I mean, man, they've just been unbelievable. And that's, and they haven't even gotten Mostert and they added Jeff Wilson in the trade. They haven't even gotten those guys really going yet. But Tua has been impressive. I'm shocked. I didn't think he was going to take it to the next level. I thought there was going to be a lot of injury problems with him over time, but yeah, it was a good pick. We'll see. If they can hold down Nick Chubb in his running ways, but I like it. All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's do it. Last pick. Go ahead.
In Vegas,
all right,
Vegas Raiders.
Minus
4.5. At home against the Indianapolis Colts. And the way I look at it, Mike, the Raiders are 2-1 at home. Their only loss at home was the terrible, terrible meltdown against Arizona. So besides that, and then you look at their other 5 losses, one of them the Saints, the shutout. But all the rest of them, they've been in every single game. 5 points or less, 6 points or less. They've basically been in every game, except that Saints game. Now I look at Indianapolis. Total dysfunction there. They don't even know who their quarterback is. They bring in Jeff Saturday, who hasn't coached at the NFL level ever in his entire life at anything, right? He's never done anything.
Right.
They didn't even have an offensive play caller once they fired Frank Reich early this week. So I'm not even sure who's calling plays there. This all adds up to a Raiders 3-touchdown win, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like it. They won 38-20 at home. They won 32-23 at home. I think they could be in that same realm. I'm not going to say they're going to win by 3 touchdowns, but I think they could put up 30+ against Indianapolis. I think their offense is very weak. We saw how bad they were on the road in New England. Back-to-back road games, all the dysfunction there. I know the Raiders seem like there's a lot of dysfunction in the room there, but they still have Jacobs. They still have Devontae Adams, and I expect Carr to step it up. I expect Max Crosby to get across that line and hit Sam Eilinger or Nick Foles, whoever they decide to throw out there. I just can't see this being another terrible loss for the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders. I think they win by 10, minus 4.5 at home against the Colts.
Is that your best bet?
No.
Okay. I was just testing you with your team.
My bet, I'll be honest, I really like that over 48.5 Bears-Lions. I really do. Okay. I look at those offenses. They put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like you said, both defenses, well, especially the Lions defense is like the worst. Fields is really coming into his own. I really like that over there. I could just see that just being both teams 30+ for some reason, but we'll see. I mean, if we were great at this is all we would be doing.
That's right.
All the time. Every day.
Yeah. So let's just recap. So what we like here is Seattle plus 2.5, really going with the money line. I mean, either or. I mean, just sprinkle some on the money line, but definitely take the plus 2.5.
Yeah.
We like the Giants minus 4.5 against the Texans. Okay. We like the Miami Dolphins minus 3.5 against the Cleveland Browns at home. We also love Vinny's Vegas Raiders -4.5 against the Colts at home. And was that it?
And the over under 48.
Oh yes, Detroit. Yes, I like the Bears. It moved actually to -3, which could be. I still think they take care of business, as I said. -3 now, and Vinny likes the 48.5. I see
Over.
Yep.
Yeah, over 48.
If we want to do a super parlay, we may.
I always do a super parlay on our stuff. Usually, what happens is we'll hit the 5 spread games, and I'll lose the over under.
I like your over under though. I think it's logical.
I don't know. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. You know, I looked at even the Chiefs and Jaguars. You know, I think that was 51.5 when I looked at it. Something like that. That's a game to me that I think the Chiefs could score like 40, and like where the Jaguars score like a backdoor kind of game for like another like high number where you can still go over. Because I know sometimes when you see things in those 50s, people get a little squeamish to bet the over. So I like to look at those that I think can possibly go. And then, like I tell everybody, I think weather's a big thing. You know, last night it was 41.5. You know, and I told our friend Anthony to go under there. Oh, and what he did already, just so you know, he took the Vikings money line early
against the Bills, huh?
Thinking that Josh Allen's not going to play.
But now he's playing.
So that's what he was thinking. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting. It's -3 right now. The Vikings, to me, and I'm sorry, Christian, for saying this, I think they're beatable. I think they've won some very games that they've won last minute. They haven't really played solid football to me. I think what their record is doesn't really reflect who they are. So let's see what they do against this Buffalo Bills team. Now, if the Buffalo Bills do indeed lose, they would be 6-4, and that means the Jets have the bye. They would be 6-3. They would have one more in the loss column. So, be very exciting. We'll see what happens.
And I'm just reading that the Colts are going to place Shaquille Leonard on the IR today. So get that Raiders bet in, because that line's going to start going up. I'm telling you, it's going to go up.
The other game we talk about sometimes, games I would not touch. I wouldn't touch it. I know it sounds crazy, you know how poorly they've played, is the Packers-Cowboys game.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a trap game. The Packers have had so much turmoil this year. They've been just a wreck. They lost in Detroit. Now they're coming home to face this Cowboys team. And, you know, if a person's going to turn it around or at least play hard, it could be Aaron Rodgers. The +4.5 would be interesting, but I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I think that could go either way with that team and what could happen with the Packers moving forward this game. So
yeah. I think they're gonna try to AJ Dillon them to death in that game.
Right.
I think they realize that the pass rush from Dallas is strong and all that, and we know the problems that the Packers have. So I could see like a big AJ Dillon smash mouth in Lambeau kind of game, play action, quick passes for Rodgers, and then trying to play a lot better defense at home than they have. So that could definitely be a trap game. But we got to see again. You haven't seen it from Rodgers. You haven't seen it from Brady. Russell Wilson a little bit, but not as much as you got to. These guys that are a little bit up there in age, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. All new offenses, teams, whatever. The whole thing. They haven't shown it yet. And again, it's week 10, so yet is becoming to almost a failed season. So there's got to be a turnaround for all of them. I think Russell's starting to figure it out a little bit there in Denver, but I want to see him do it in Denver. I haven't seen him play a great game at home. I haven't seen it. And again, I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers play a good game all season. Tom Brady probably played a really good game against Dallas this first game of the year, and that's been really about it, right? So we'll see, as it comes along. So that's why I'm skeptical about, playing any of those teams in a neutral field. I just think that's why I like Seattle a lot. And again, Lambeau makes you worried. Plus 4.5 to the Packers, but again, at the same time, what has he shown you? Like, you're going to hear a lot of the Cowboys faithful say, "We're going to go in there, we're going to beat them up," with Parsons and Diggs on, in our defense. They don't have anybody for him to get the ball to, and that's what we're going to do all game. So we'll wait and see. That's why they play the games, Mike, right? That's what we always say.
That's right.
So, all right. This was, again, we haven't done this in a couple of weeks due to travel and illness and all the other fun stuff that comes along, but we're back 51 episodes down. I want to thank everybody that really commented on episode 50. We got a lot of great feedback on that episode. We're happy to do that for you guys. And, the people that out there said we should do episode 100 live from some remote location. We're definitely thinking about it. It could be definitely in the cards for us, because I think that should fall sometime in the spring, summer. So it could be a nice little outdoor event. Who knows? We'll as it gets closer and we figure it out, we'll let everybody know. But for everybody, Mike, thank you.
Thank you,
great time. Good luck, everybody, with your bets on Sunday.
Take it easy.